Let me hit record. Hey, and welcome back to another exciting episode of Extra Feature Podcast. I have a fabulous guest whose film I found for a change. He didn't have to send it to me. What a lucky break for him. I have Bron Theron here and his film Pancake Man, which is wild ride, people. You need to see it. Available on Tubi and I'm sure Amazon. Just run a search for it. You'll find it. And welcome to the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Oh, I would like to discuss the basic concept at the beginning, where the
Okay.
idea came from. I mean,
Okay.
I think you're a Jason Statham fan. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it really
Jason
feels like
Statham.
this
Oh,
your version of a Jason Statham movie.
is that because the lead actor kind of resembles a Jason Statham kind of
I know I
character?
say more your filmmaking kind of gave it to me.
Oh,
The
okay.
fast, quick cuts, and I mean, Beekeeper, I see in here. I see a lot of safe. I mean, just Jason Statham action in general.
What year did Beekeeper come out? Do you remember?
2 years ago,
2 years ago. So we made this movie before Beekeeper. I think Fast Cuts kind of resembles like just it reflects the attention span of human beings today, and that's what I like to do, faster cuts.
great.
I think this movie is kind of like a Snatch or a Lock Stock, more of a Guy Ritchie
Okay,
feel.
I'll give you that, but that's definitely going the
Yeah,
same direction.
sure. Yeah, I mean, Guy Ritchie, brought Jason Statham out, so there you go. But yeah, the beginning scene, asking about the beginning scene, it's very influenced by the movie Falling Down,
Yeah.
where Michael Douglas tries to get breakfast and he couldn't get breakfast. That's basically our starting point in this story.
Okay. The weapon of choice seems to be a fork most of the time.
Yeah, it turns out that he kills a lot of people with a fork. Yeah.
Why a fork?
I think killing people with a fork is a little bit more interesting than killing
Oh,
people with
I
a
think it's
gun.
awesome. Please don't think
Well,
I'm challenging.
we even have a scene in the film where he has the opportunity to just shoot somebody with this gun and he puts down the gun like he doesn't like it or he's allergic to it or something, and he's like, no, I'm just gonna keep with a manhandling, brute force and fork fetish. You know what I mean? So yeah, I don't know if it was a conscious decision. It kind of just once you start writing these things, it goes in a direction and you kind of like just go with it, I think.
Okay. You do in the film early on have an argument about breakfast that kind of kicks off the film.
Uh-huh.
Is that a normal thing you've observed, or is that just what your crux was the whole time?
Um, I'd say it's pretty normal. That obviously the scene in Falling Down where Michael Douglas is refused is kind of an exaggeration, but it does happen all the time. Once it gets here, at least, once it gets past a certain time, people don't serve the other menu, right? In our story, it was more on the restaurant's fault. They stopped a little early and they were just being lazy about it because they're cleaning this grill and moving to this grill, and I think it just kind of went in that direction. I will say this, and I don't know if you guys have this out in Canada. Do you have restaurants where you order at the register and then go sit down, or is it mainly a waitress or waiter serving you?
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, we do have a few of them. I mean, there's not many, but yeah, I see a few.
So those are common here in Long Beach. You order and then you go sit down, or you get a number or whatever. And the reason why I brought that up and ask is I had a meeting with a pretty big manager at some point. It was pretty recently, actually. And he said when he watched the trailer, he couldn't get past the idea of it being at a register. And he's like, that doesn't happen at restaurants. You only have a waiter and a waitress and they come up to your table. And this stuck with me because I was thinking like some people will probably have that response if they've never seen a restaurant like that. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, you don't understand that there's a register there and that's where they're paying ahead of time instead of after, you know? And then I started thinking about it in depth because I think I overthink things and I'm like, Man, it must be nice to only be at fancy restaurants where you have a waiter all the time. So maybe
I'd
that
say,
was the thing. You know what I mean? Like, oh, maybe that he's only used to people serving him, and I guess I'm not. So it's a different thing. But you've seen it, so I guess it's not that much out of the ordinary.
no, it worked for me. I mean, I do
Yeah.
get the Michael Douglas angle. I felt a little more Jason Statham, but I do see the falling down angle too. Yes. Okay,
Yeah.
I want to say you have a lot of extras in your film. Constant, lots of people all over the place, especially in the restaurant scenes.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Are they extras, friends of yours, or who are they?
It's half and half. Most people I know, when you're doing these independent films, you kind of pull a lot of favors. You ask all your buddies, "Hey, can you show up and do this stuff?" There was some people, some extras, we got through Indiegogo because we did a crowdfunding for this. So they got on set by donating to our funds, so they got to be an extra. Um, and then some people were friends, and some people, I think we did a casting call, and like sometimes when you do casting calls, you say, "Hey, if there's any other roles or if you want to show up, would you be interested in that?" And they say yes. So I feel like it was a sprinkle. And I think my sound guy brought a whole table that was really good. I felt like that's the other thing. Like sometimes, I don't know if you watch movies like I watch movies, but I watch the extras and I watch like how much they put into their extra performance. And sometimes it's really beneficial. You know what I mean? Sometimes you bump up an extra to do other things, like get shot or get stabbed or even say lines. In independent film, anything can happen. It's a much easier thing for you just to say, hey, can you say this? Can you move this guy, bump into him, stuff like that.
Let's discuss the actual restaurant. Where is it, and how did you find it?
Which one are you talking about? Are you talking about the beginning one or the end
I want to start.
finale?
We're going to get to the finale. I have a whole
Oh,
stack. We can do all the locations now if you want. But you have multiple locations in this film. Let's start the
yeah.
first one with the blinds closed.
Okay, yeah. So that is a restaurant that I rented. It is in Long Beach. It's called George's Cafe, and it's a 50s diner. It has a really, certain look to it. I think
Oh, I
it
like it. It
was,
totally
yeah,
worked for the picture. Like I totally believe this happened. Like if I
good.
read this on the news, I'd be like, "Yep, that makes perfect sense for this diner." Like it looks like that kind of location.
Right.
Okay, you have a
Yeah.
house location. I think you used twice.
The same house.
Yes,
I use, well, as Jerry's house. Jerry is our main character, Jerry,
yes.
aka the Pancake Man. So that is a buddy of mine's house that he did work on the film. I think he was script supervisor and PA. That's my buddy Chris's house. We used his garage mainly, and yes, a walkthrough in his house where the guy gets hit in the frying pan, then he gets tortured.
Yep.
That's my buddy Chris's house. So that's another buddy. Didn't have to rent that one.
And the graffiti room is friggin' awesome.
Thank you. I did all the graffiti with me and my buddies did all the
Really,
graffiti. hmm
that is some nice work. I'm going to give you full
Thanks.
props for that. I really like that.
Thank you. Yeah, that's the Destroyer's hideout, and it's a warehouse that actually my street team had. They don't have it anymore, but my buddy George, he has a whole street team that puts up our posters and stuff like that, and he that's their headquarters. He also let me borrow his dog for the movie too, Bruce. That little the what was it called? It's a bulldog, but it's a certain type of bulldog. Bruce was excellent actor.
I want to
Um,
go back. How long did it
oh,
take you to
sorry.
do the graffiti room? Like, I mean, you're a graffiti artist, we know that, but how long does it take you to do something like that? Because that looks elaborate to me.
I think it was one day. Yeah, I
Okay.
don't know how many hours, but one day I did all the destroyer stuff. So when they walk in slow motion, all that stuff. To the left, I have a buddy that painted his piece. It says Igor. To the right, it says fish. So I did it with two other buddies, and they kind of concentrated on their pieces, and I concentrated more on the gang stuff, that and the door, that says keep the fuck out for Cyrus. Cyrus is our main bad guy, I guess.
So the retail store is fascinating. I've never seen anything with this much stuff in it, different things.
The retail store that KG, aka Bandit, walked in and kind of
Yes,
like pretends to steal stuff.
yes.
That okay, so that is a real shop. That's my buddy's shop called Badfish, and Badfish is in San Pedro, California, and he let me just shoot that as long as I didn't shut down the store. So I got that location for free.
And the clothing store?
That is the clothing store, Badfish Clothing.
Okay, there's Bachelor's clothing. Oh, okay. So they're both the same. You have another one, looks like they have stuff on pegs everywhere.
Stuff on pegs.
Yeah, Bagfish, I have. These guys got masks. They're trying to find the masks to buy.
Oh, that's a 99 cent store. That's a real, no, that's a real 99 cent store. It's actually right down the street from my house. I did have to pay for that one. Not much. I think it was a few hundred. We were pretty much in and out, but that's a real store, and they let us shoot it is the same thing as long as we didn't shut it down. But that's the only really location that I did not like our lighting setup because
I could see that.
yeah, it's a long story, but ultra fluorescent lights, these certain windows and certain angles, the way it kind of pissed me off because if you compare that to other scenes. Also, that scene was shot on an iPhone, so
Really?
that's yeah, about 30% of this film was shot on an iPhone with the Blackmagic app, and then the
Okay.
other 70% was done on a Red camera. So it's matching those two footage. So that one in particular, I did not like the lighting as much, but you had to have that scene because you had to have the relationship between our Bonnie and Clyde kind of characters. And, obviously they had to get masks, right?
Of course. You have a hospital.
We have a hospital that's at Envision 8 Studios. So that's actually a studio. We did one studio day and we shot the hospital, the lawyer's office where Jerry is getting reamed and he wants to keep his dog. And I think we shot one other thing there, but I can't remember what it was. But yeah, that's a
Okay.
studio.
We have two more to go. And you have so many locations. I'm sorry. A
Yeah.
bar and a gym.
Right. The gym is my gym. It's Hardworks boxing gym here in Long Beach. In fact, I ever since that movie, I think I've been using it in all my movies. I believe it's in Fear Anonymous and it's in this movie we just did Dead Ass. So I've been keeping that theme alive. I use all the locations that I go to, obviously. Um, so that's my gym, and then the bar. Let me think. Oh, the bar we rented. That's a nightclub. Yeah. That we rented in San Pedro. That was the funnest day on set, by the way, because I got to act in that scene. I'm a character in the movie, and acting's really fun. Sometimes when you're directing and producing, it's a lot of work and stress, but when you're acting, it feels a lot more fun. And I had my AD kind of take over. I was like, "Hey man, you're gonna run today. I have to rehearse. I have to get this acting in." But that was in San Pedro, and I don't even know how to pronounce that bar. Uh, Il Principles, something like that. It's a Spanish name, but it's a very good nightclub. I don't know if you paid attention to that scene, but it's a real nightclub. We did shut it down as long as it opened at I think 5 p.m. and I did have to pay. That was probably the most expensive one. I think that was like 11 or 1200 to do
Wow.
that. Yeah.
Okay. As an actor and a director and doing probably most of the work of the film, I know you're directing people, I know you care about, do you could make yourself harder on yourself than any other actor because it's your film?
Um it's actually very difficult to direct and act and produce. Uh, so I don't know if I'm harder on myself. Like you mean like, oh, I have to do good while I'm
Yes.
acting or something like that? Yeah, I'll be honest. I think one thing suffers when you do that. Like I can't see it any other way. I don't know about how hard because since I wrote these things, I pretty much know how it should look. I'm editing it. I know how it should look. So to me it's a lot of fun because to me acting is it's it's light work, you know what I mean? It's just fun. But I wouldn't say I'm hard. I just know that something's suffering. I think if you're delegating correctly, it could work. Also, money would help if you had more money because you could delegate more people and pay them. You know what I mean? I, I like to always have people paid on my sets because it makes them feel like it's a little bit more important. It makes it serious. So I don't know. If I had more money, I think I would act more in my films. But normally it's an accident, to be honest. Like wasn't planning on doing this role that we're talking about right now. I actually wrote that for someone else. I couldn't get them. So I did it. But I don't know. I don't know if I'm hard on myself. I don't like editing myself, I'll tell you that. You know what I mean? I don't like looking at myself and going, "Oh man, you're getting old, bro." But it is what it is. I don't know. I think I'm hard on actors if they don't know their lines, you know? And and I wouldn't say I'm hard on them like I yell at them like some directors, but I'm hard on them thinking in my mind like if you're not taking this seriously, like I can't hire you again. I need to have people on the team that know their shit. That's the bare minimum, come with your lines memorized. And you'd be surprised how many people don't. You'd be
I
really
was going to
surprised.
ask that. Really?
You'd be surprised how many people don't memorize their lines, and then also you'd be surprised on like uh people that freeze up when the camera hits them. That's a thing too. Um, so as a director, you have to do your best to just vet people and figure out who's going to come through and who's not. But I don't think I've ever yelled. Oh wait, no, I take that back. One of my buddies, Buck Stallion. I've yelled at him on set. Buck Stallion is God, what did he play in this movie? He was in this movie. He's in all my movies. I got a buddy, but we did a thing a long time ago, and we did this TV show called Real Acting. It was like a short webisode series, and he showed up and he didn't have his lines memorized, and they were literally like two sentences. So I got really mad because he didn't know his lines, and I'm like, okay, we'll go over there and rehearse your lines. So he's going over here, and then I'm taking somebody else, right? And then his phone goes off, and he talks on the phone. He does all this shit, ruining this guy's take over here. So I go, get the fuck out of here, like I started getting all mad at him. But I never do that normally. You know what I mean? Like I think that's based on relationship. Like we're obviously close friends. You know what I mean? So. I think things are different if you're close friends. Like I wouldn't do that to like a professional actor that I casted or whatever. You know what I mean? And it would make me look like an asshole. But that was just a small thing. You know what I mean? I was
So
hard
now I'm
on him
worried
though, I
about
guess.
how do you take podcasts and that don't watch your film? I mean, you're here for promotion, obviously, and a good
Oh man,
conversation, I would think. Like, do you get annoyed at them too?
if they haven't seen it,
If I showed up today and
yeah,
we're talking about Pancake Man, which
yeah,
we
yeah, yeah.
are, and I have not watched the film,
It's happened. I've done a few podcasts that they haven't watched it.
do you get annoyed?
No, I don't get annoyed. It's just if I was in your shoes, I would have watched it. Do you know what
Oh,
I
I would
mean?
hope. I don't know because I only watch the film.
Right,
I've
right, right.
never done anything when I haven't watched it, so that would be
I think,
very weird for me.
well, everybody works differently. Every set is different. Every podcast is different. You know what I mean? Like I got on a podcast the other day. The mics were crappy. This was going on, that was going on. Then they decided to read this fucking horrible review of Pancake Man, and I couldn't even defend myself or talk about it or do anything because the mics were all shitty. Do you know what I mean? So, everybody works differently to answer your question. And I would definitely do what you do. I would watch the movie to talk about the movie, to talk about this person, do an investigation of the person, know a little bit about him, know what other projects he's been on or he or she's been on, you know. But that's just me. Not everybody works like that.
I don't know, it's just weird. Okay, back to Pancake Man. That was a good segue. Music. It's here, but it's just not here. I want to say that. It sort of just adds to what I'm watching. I don't find it set aside. I don't feel the music's present. I feel it's just there to accompany.
The music is so I have one sound guy that does all my stuff. I don't really make any movies without him. His name's Jihad. And he put together that kind of like Rage Against the Machine type of
But
feel.
loved it.
Yeah, so that's kind of like the theme that I was going for the whole time. I kind of just gave him a few notes and he went with it. I don't think I adjusted much from what he did. Like I said, he's kind of like my guy. So he did the scoring, he did all the sound. If you look at the credits of this movie, you would literally see like 12 credits that he was a part of, including Foley and sound effects and everything. Boom mic.
Okay,
So
since you're
yeah.
bringing it up, I'm going to say I did watch the credits because there's an after credit scene.
Yeah.
So just
Yeah.
so you know, I did watch the credits, and there's an after
Uh-huh.
credit scene.
Right.
Um, I'm going to ask right now: is there a Pancake too?
I wrote the beginning to Pancake Man 2. I think there should be a Pancake Man 2. That all has to do with money, man.
Of
These things
course.
cost money to make. So if we can get the money, then there's absolutely a Pancake Man 2. I only technically have the beginning written. I think I have 15 pages. But I know exactly what happens. You know what I mean? So,
Perfect.
yeah.
So the look of the Pancake Man, I like it. I really like he's kind of faded. You don't really know him for a while. You know what I mean? I like the way he comes in. I like he's very quiet. I like the look. I just want to know how big he is underneath all the clothes.
He's a pretty short guy. Um,
Okay.
yeah, he's a short guy, but he's pretty strong.
He
He
looks
worked.
strong, but it's just hard to tell.
Yeah, we don't have any. You know what? I want to say you could kind of see him in, the scene where he has the fight with his wife, the
Yeah.
flashback with the fight with the wife. You can kind of notice how big he is. He's a pretty strong guy. He's just shorter. But yeah, I don't know if I have plans to well, maybe in a flashback we might show how strong he is in the next one, if we get around to it. But yeah, that's a good point. He is pretty strong guy though.
Okay, there's an 8x10 on the wall in the house when the guy dances. Behind him, you see a bunch of 8x10s hanging up. Clearly see it when he's dancing.
Uh-huh.
Who are the 8x10s of?
So that is a peer space rental. So those are the people that live in that peer space.
Okay.
It's just a house. Yeah, it's just a house that I rented. That's in Long Beach as well. Yeah, so I don't know those people technically, but that's a good thing to ask because sometimes we insert things, and we did insert things in this movie because of those crowdfunding things. The crowdfunding usually has perks where put your photo in the movie, and my buddy Greg Talley, not Greg, Greg Talley was a producer, but Greg's buddy, oh, now I'm gonna forget his name, but this guy always puts pictures in like pretty much every movie I've seen in like all these independent movies. This one dude puts his now I'm pissed and now I'm gonna not think of his name. But anyway, he's in there. So if you look at the scene where KG is robbing the house, same spot you're talking about, I did insert something in there, and he's in that shot.
Okay.
It's fun doing that stuff. It's fun inserting little Easter eggs. But the ones that you described, those are just there. You know what I mean?
Oh, I
Like
didn't
those are
know.
just
I thought
there.
it might be an Easter egg. I said I better go after that because I'm seeing things. So
Right. That's a lot. That's a lot of. Easter eggs to have like that many.
I don't
Now,
know. You could have put the whole cast up there just for fun in the back. I mean, I don't know. That's why I'm asking.
that would be that would be pretty amazing. There is something like that in these newer movies that I'm making. I am trying to do more of that because I like that a lot.
So do I. That's why I was asking.
Yeah.
Working with blood, how is it?
Working with blood, honestly, it's pretty annoying. I
Oh,
don't feel like it did what I wanted it to do in this movie. And that's you know, I don't know how to describe it. I wanted different things. I'll give you an example. We have a scene at the end of the movie, and there's forks going into somebody like this, right?
nice.
Okay. So what I wanted was blood to fly out. It's a lot of slow motion stuff in that scene.
No,
I
fine.
wanted blood to fly out in slow motion. Period. Now, after we did a take or two or whatever, blood's everywhere, by the way. You know what I mean? Like we did this, we did that, and it did not do what I wanted it to do,
Of
right?
course not.
So I go to the FX guy and I'm like, well, why is the blood not, doing this? And his answer was, well, she has hair. And I'm like, well, yes. Most women, good amount of women, have long hair. And that's something that you have to work around. You know what I mean? Like it can't just be that's the reason you can't do something. So but listen, you only get one or two shots with this blood shit. If it's a splat or throw whatever, it's only one or two things because and this actress I'm talking about was covered in blood. It was everywhere, on the ground, everywhere. And we have to clean that up to move on to something else or do something else. And I didn't have the opportunity to do I don't have the money either to do multiple takes and da 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 what you really want. You're doing independent film. So to me, I don't really like blood stuff, practical, but I think it could look better than post. You know what I mean? Because there is a
Oh, I
few
agree.
post blood things in this, and you know what I mean? Like it's there, but it's not a focal point, thank God, because I don't know, it just looks a certain way, right? So um I usually like practical, but it is a bitch to work with. So by the way, I still have so much blood from this movie that I've been using it in the last three movies. We've
Uh,
used the same
Great.
blood from Pancake Man. So that's a good thing.